Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. And without further ado, let's jump right in. That was an ado. Let's jump right into it. Payments company PayPal will allow on-chain transfers from Venmo accounts starting in May. This was said by Jose Fernandez da Ponte, the company's senior vice president and general manager of blockchain, crypto, and digital currencies. This was said during a panel at Consensus 2023. For those of you who don't know, PayPal made their foray into crypto, was it 2019? Has it already been that long? Where I had assumed that many companies were beginning to understand, and I dare not say the term, the power of crypto. It was more the amount of money that could be made within the cryptocurrency market. The crypto market is quite spectacular in that you can completely bypass the old traditional financial system, and we can transact just simply between us. However, a lot of companies have also realized this, and they're now getting into the cryptocurrency market and space and yada yada to tell people, hey, we're a big name company. Look at what we do. You've known us for a number of years. You know that really fantastic thing that you got into called cryptocurrencies? We're doing the exact same thing. They will play it off as if they're doing it to try and help you, to make you, have a better life getting into the cryptocurrency market, easier use, transfer, transactions, you name it. However, it's just so that you actually use their platform, so that every time you send a transaction through their systems, they get a portion of the fees. Because guess what? You can already use the blockchain and send transactions without having to put it on PayPal or on Venmo. You can do it yourself, by yourself whenever you want. That's the point of the cryptocurrency space. But alas, a lot of larger companies have entered the space, and they're making sure that you know that if you use their product, not only will you be safer and cooler, and you can, simply tap your phone to send stuff on Venmo, and, all your other friends will be like, whoa, my friend has money. But now you can use their systems as well. He said, and I quote, you can buy a gift on Venmo and send it out. You can invite people and send it to another Venmo user. You can send it to a PayPal user. You can send it to an external wallet. Wow. You can send it to a hardware wallet, which we think is something fundamentally important. Consumers have been asking for that for a while. Consumers have been asking for custody of their own assets. This is nothing new. They should have had complete custody of it before, but as a centralized company, of course, you will not allow that unless enough people end up screaming and say that they are going to take their money off of your platform if you don't allow us to do this. Please understand that, and this is, I hope this is general knowledge. If you are using PayPal and you are able to transfer your money to a cryptocurrency wallet or to a hardware wallet, the government and PayPal will know exactly which address you've sent it to, and therefore they will be able to track that wallet. If you are sending your money to another Venmo user and then sending it to a hardware wallet or to your own personal cryptocurrency wallet, please understand that because of Know Your Customer, AML, anti-money laundering rules and laws, that cryptocurrency exchange wallet address will be forever linked to that Venmo and to that PayPal account. I mentioned all of this before when the people from, what's the thing? Firefox? No, MetaMask. It has a fox face. MetaMask announced that they would be partnering with Visa and MasterCard. So you have an ease of use. You can use your Visa and your MasterCard to be able to send money or get crypto on MetaMask. How convenient, how awesome, how completely safe. Understand that if you do that, that cryptocurrency wallet address is forever associated with your bank details and your credit card and or debit card. If you send that money from that cryptocurrency wallet address to another wallet, 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 all those wallets will be forever associated with your banking and credit card and debit card and Venmo and PayPal information. That's how you get tracked. That's exactly what's currently going on. But it's easier for you as a PayPal user to be able to send money to you can already use the blockchain for that. The announcement comes a year after the payment company said third-party wallet transfers would be coming to PayPal and Venmo platforms, with PayPal itself now already offering this feature. I mean, so this is great for a lot of people who are new to the crypto space, who don't care about privacy, don't care about their own rights and all these other things. These companies will continue to grow larger. They understand, and you should understand, that they have also pivoted quite dramatically directly into the cryptocurrency space. It is not a randomized event that we heard that Visa and MasterCard and PayPal, the largest companies on the planet when it comes to money transfers, have eagerly gotten into crypto, or eagerly are waiting for you to use their platforms and use their cards to be able to use your crypto. Just understand, once again, I know that this may not pertain to everyone, but understand that this is how, when you talk about a digitized future and governments gaining control, it's not through the use of a central bank digital currency or forcing you to use one. It's through this. It's knowing where all your transactions are. It's knowing everything that you do on the internet is being tracked and traced and secured in these towers that are all around us. So yeah, not to get too dark in theme, but just understand what all these companies are doing. If you are legally in your country able to not use these companies in self-custody and or simply send transactions legally in your country, on chain, on the crypto chain by itself, or don't have to link up your debit and credit card to all of these platforms, just understand everything is being watched, everything is being traced, and yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, the race for interoperability among stablecoins has heightened in recent years as networks seek to make digital ecosystems less fragmented and exclusive. That is also a lie. This is another popular thing that people say out loud to make it seem as if they have a better platform than other people. The idea of stablecoin usage has increased over the last couple of years, whether it be because people don't like to use fiat, they want to use something that is more inclusive, or inside the cryptocurrency system, I'm not really sure, or simply out of desperation. If you have 140% inflation, a lot of people are looking for something more stable, and therefore they'll choose to use a stable coin. What we're seeing is that a lot of the creators of a lot of stable coins have probably actually gotten letters from the SEC, because if you are buying something and or using something from a company and it is not registered with the SEC, therefore the SEC deems it to be a security, the company ends up getting in trouble. This is why we've seen, exponentially, the amount of networks that Tether is on has absolutely gone completely insane. It used to just simply be on Tether, and now it's on Ethereum, it's on, I think, Cardano, it's on Avalanche, I believe it's also partially on Bitcoin, it's on Tron, you name it, it's all over there. They will tell you that it has to do with decentralization. We're making sure that your coin doesn't disappear and we can use it and it's on multiple different blockchains. No, it's to make sure that it appears to be decentralized enough so that governments don't go after it, and also simply cannot go after it. You would have to go after every single chain and destroy every single chain to get rid of all the Tether. And Circle, which was created by Coinbase, I call it Coinbase Coin as it is their stable coin, is now trying to do the exact same thing. Circle, the company behind the USD coin, has released a mainnet protocol that will allow for users to transfer their Circle coin between the Avalanche and the Ethereum networks seamlessly. This cross-chain transfer protocol, CCTP, will work with third-party bridges, meaning that users will no longer be required to deposit their assets with a Circle partner to transfer assets between networks. Normally, you would have to give it to a third party to be able to do all of this, or in many cases, you would have to lock it in the other chain. And then on the second chain, you would get the actual coins that you are looking for. According to the team, unlike traditional bridges, this transfer protocol burns all tokens and issues new ones on the receiving blockchain. Assets will not need to be stored on the sending chain before being claimed on the other network. I'm literally not sure how they're planning on or able to actually do this. Imagine if someone took 1 million Ethereum and they tried to, and they swapped it into the coin and they tried to transfer it from Ethereum to Avalanche. Would that 1 million worth of Ethereum then be burned and gone and destroyed forever? I don't know. I have a lot of questions. But yeah, every single popular stablecoin is trying to do the exact same thing. The magical word decentralization and inclusivity and making sure that it's for everyone continues to be thrown around. They do not care about us. They only care about their money. If they actually did, there would be no fees on any of these platforms or any of these coins. But guess what? There are fees. So cool. Circle has a new cross-chain protocol between Avalanche and Ethereum. Hope it works. And I'm interested to figure out exactly how they plan on burning the stablecoin and or the other coins and then just simply reissuing new ones because, logic. That's the Circle news. Yeah. Let's move on. In water is wet news, analysts at Bernstein Private Wealth Management, or Bernstein, depending on how you pronounce it, Private Wealth Management, think that the shaking banking system in the United States could benefit Bitcoin adoption and potentially increase the price of the asset. The experts went further, advising people to invest in Bitcoin. That is not for me, that is from them, not financial advice, which could soon enter a new bull run due to the shaking conditions of traditional finance. Oh, that's so stupid. Oh my gosh, I understand what's happening. You've noticed this massive, this is so dumb. You've noticed this massive uptick in the amount of people being like, buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going here. Bitcoin's going to do so and so. And a lot of people are using the idea of a banking crisis or a banking collapse or a recession or any other number of things as the reason why people should be moving into Bitcoin. It's because they're using the halving. It all just came to me at the exact same time. That's why I said it's so nonsensical. Historically, the last 4 times, every time we had a halving, and we are now less than a year away from Bitcoin's next halving, Bitcoin's price has risen. So you can simply say, like, amidst all the things that are going on, look, I told you I was right. Bitcoin's price is going up. Bitcoin's price is going to go up regardless, because this is what always happens a year before we actually get to the actual halving. And then after the halving, that's when we have that 1 year surge up in prices. You can literally say, because of things that happened in 2020, because of things that happened in so-and-so, because of the banking crisis, if it continues on in any sort of way, you can be like, well, this is why Bitcoin's price is rising, as opposed to just simply understanding the logic that Bitcoin's price always goes up as we get toward the halving, and when we are actually after the halving as well. It's not that the entire banking crisis could benefit Bitcoin, because it could go completely the opposite direction. If we have an actual banking crisis, and I don't think I have it in this video, it was some sort of thing like, apparently there are hundreds, maybe low thousands of banks within the United States that may be suffering from liquidity crises or credit crunches, or may not have enough money, or maybe going bankrupt. You name it, all the words are out there. Everyone's completely talking about the exact same thing. And they were saying how this could potentially benefit Bitcoin. No, it could. I mean, listen, when you talk about the actual, you need to understand, humans are nonsensical creatures. If you talk about the destruction of the US banking system, people aren't going to go, let me run into Bitcoin. No, people are going to panic and start selling their cryptocurrencies in order to try and get a grasp of anything that they assume actually has some real value, so that in the long term, they can... Why is my chair making so much noise? So that they can cash out of it and make money in some sort of other way. If we hear that the US dollar collapses, the main beneficiary immediately is not going to be Bitcoin. It may not even be gold. It won't be real estate. It won't be stocks and bonds. Everything is going to collapse, and people are going to liquidate in any sort of way that they can. The only reason why there's like a light bit of optimism for the idea of a banking crisis benefiting Bitcoin is that we saw about a month or two ago when one of the other banks did collapse, we heard that the Fed essentially lightly, air quotes, bailed them out. They gave them money. They helped, do the acquisitions of the bank and yada, yada. And the idea came back that over the last 5, 6, 7 or so years, as we've seen economies buckle or things within the United States, economy begin to fall or collapse, money was simply printed and thrown into that market to help them stay afloat. This is one of the main conversations that we had in 2020 and 2021. Why are the markets going up? Because the Fed keeps printing as much money as they want to be able to make sure that securities and equities stay afloat. That was one of the main reasons why the stock market kept on going up, and it is believed that the cryptocurrency market was also pumping as well because people were getting essentially extra money that was maybe for free, and therefore they threw that into the actual market. So how do I even, continue this thought? The general idea is that the cryptocurrency market is going to go up. We're all in agreement? Yeah, because this is what normally historically happens. However, this could all end terribly for all of us. This is why, this is an actual issue. I understand thinking very optimistically about stuff. I'm a very optimistic person. I hear news and I'm like, well, that can only be really good for us. The world is in literal chaos right now. I mean, just completely. From the beginning of 2020 to where we currently are right now, everything is bad. And I won't name everything because it would be like another 35 minutes just added onto the video, but you understand what's going on. But it's so weird. There's so many people who are popping up talking about how the world economy collapsing can only be good for Bitcoin. Do you remember Bitcoin's price in 2020? Do you remember how low we fell? Remember how terrified everyone was? Remember people were talking about that we were going to get to a $100 Bitcoin? Didn't Ethereum go to $80? I think Ethereum went to $80. In the event of an actual US banking crisis, what we're currently in is things are bad, but these banks have been garbage for a while. If we hear that Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Bank of America all go belly up, Bitcoin's not going to skyrocket. Everyone's going to be completely mortified because nearly every bank around the world will also begin to collapse as well. Analyst Gautam Shugani and Manas Graul believe the banking crisis in America could worsen in the future. I mean, yeah, anything could worsen in the future, and suggest Bitcoin might emerge as a savior. You gotta, and that's not how humanity or the mind works. You need to be able to pay for everything with Bitcoin to even consider the idea that normal people and or billionaires would be willing to swap all of their money from the US dollar into Bitcoin. You need proper infrastructure. You need the Lightning Network to be available on every platform, every website, every app. Sometimes when you go to pay for stuff on a website, you're like, oh, they don't accept PayPal. That. You need Bitcoin to be a payment option on every website, Lightning to be on every single payment channel, to make sure that you can send and buy and receive anything you would or could with the US dollar, the euro, or the yen. You can do that also with Bitcoin. Then and only then will Bitcoin even remotely be seen as another thing. You need to know that you can liquidly swap into something and still use it. Can you pay for your mortgage in Bitcoin? Can you pay for your groceries in Bitcoin? As of now, you can get little gift cards and send it to people. You can send people money directly on chain. But if you're trying to pay your rent, you're like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, the US banks collapsed. So I got about half a Bitcoin. What's your address? Until we get to that point, Bitcoin is still a successful, at the moment, but still one gigantic experiment. This is why I've been so perplexed as to why a lot of this has seemed like, the word's not slowly organic. It's this really weird, Bitcoin at this point is mainstream. Everyone knows the word Bitcoin. It is everyone, you got it. But when you talk about the actual integration of it into other platforms or payment systems or other things like that, we are way behind where we actually should be at this point. And the other real kicker is I know that tons of companies are also into it secretly. The Amazons, the Googles, you name it. Of course, they're into Bitcoin. But until when we get to the point where there's no question, if you can tap your phone, swipe your card, or use your iWatch, whatever it's called, Apple Watch, and tap it and pay in Bitcoin, we have a long way to go. The only way that Bitcoin would benefit or move up in price from a literal banking crisis is if we hear that the Fed is going to bail them out. The IMF is going to bail them out. Guys, we're going to print $40 trillion. That's the only way. I believe me, I understand. I want decentralization to prosper. I want people to have control over their finances. I want us to live in a world where it is not constant surveillance and we can live proper lives. But when this is why I'm so hesitant and concerned when I see all these companies getting into the space, because they don't care about decentralization. They don't care about us. They don't care about you. It has to do with how much money they can make, how much more money they can tell their shareholders they made in last quarter compared to the previous quarter before that. It's always just about making more money. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of people. This was one of the more popular ones. There's a lot of people floating around right now talking about how high Bitcoin is going to go in the event of a banking crisis or this other thing collapsing. And it's like, no, you're not living in actual reality. You need to be able to be like, well, listen, dude, fiat's collapsing. Have you swapped into Bitcoin? Yeah, I did that yesterday, because you can pay for everything in Bitcoin. I think we have a good 5 or 10 years before we properly get there. Like, there are many places where, like, so first of all, backing it up, you can pay for everything now in Bitcoin with that little asterisk next to, like, little star next to it. You have to go through multiple, sometimes different websites to be able to do so. You have to find a way to buy the Bitcoin. You have to be able to usually transfer it to another website and get like a gift card or have a QR code or have some kind of a code that you would then be able to send to someone else to be able to redeem that, to be able to get cash and or pay, so there are ways to get around it. It's very fragmented, but I think that we're on our way. The only thing I think will really rapidly get us there is if we have a $250,000 Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's price has to be so terrifyingly high that normal people rush as quickly as possible to buy as much Bitcoin as they can, and then begin to simply state, we need to be able to do something with this Bitcoin that we have. Because, I feel like, I feel like Bakkt, BAKKT, was on the right track. But a lot of it was just greed. Bakkt was only caring about Bitcoin dollar-based Bitcoin futures and not actually integrating all of these things into other systems. So anyway, that's the banking crisis. Might potentially raise Bitcoin's price, but it won't unless we actually hear that trillions of more dollars are going to be pumped back into the economy, because that's how reality works. If the world worked the way that it should, the first time that we heard that a bank collapsed last year, Bitcoin's price would have risen by a good $2,000 or $3,000. By the time we heard that the 7th bank was having a problem, and we heard from JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon telling us that the banking system was sound, people can read, right? People are capable of reading. I would assume that most people have, and this is not to be mean in any way, have a generalized enough education, 10th grade, grade 9, that they can read and understand that the banking system is absolute garbage. If logic played any part in this, Bitcoin would be roughly around at least $175,000 based off of the metrics and other things that are happening in other countries with their fiat currencies actually collapsing as well. But logic does not exist, and in the event of the U.S. banking system collapsing and people not, imagine JP Morgan and Bank of America collapse and people don't have access to their dollars. Imagine that. Your account is frozen, lost, gone. You cannot get any money. The bank needs that money to be able to recover. Is your first thought, let me take out all my money in some sort of way and buy Bitcoin? No, it's you running to the supermarket and trying to find shelter. That's the Bitcoin could prosper from the U.S. banking crisis news. These people are ridiculous. Like, I don't understand how people even, like, you managed to say that out loud and no part of you was like, can I take it back? Like, I feel like I'm crazy. That's not how the human mind works. Okay. Let's move on. Also this is news. Crypto price tracking website CoinMarketCap is apparently making a TV show. You heard that correctly. Releasing a competition show that will be called Killer Whales that draws direct inspiration from the TV show Shark Tank. So it's not sharks, it's now whales. You get it? Because whales are in the cryptocurrency market. Ha ha ha. In partnership with Web3 entertainment company Hello Labs, the new program will allow entrepreneurs to pitch their projects to the whales, made up of also entrepreneurs, influencers, and founders of the Web3 companies. I kind of want to be on the show. I kind of want to be a whale. I myself am not a whale, but I would love to just sit there and listen to what people have to say, because this show is either going to be incredible. Like, this is exactly what the cryptocurrency space and market needed, or it is going to be one of the most cringy things that you've ever seen in your entire lives. Have you ever seen those like cryptocurrency documentaries where they talk to people who are Bitcoin or cryptocurrency millionaires or billionaires? And once again, but they wear their baseball cap backwards as if it's like 1992. The dress style just isn't, there in any sort of way. They use lingo that sounds completely reminiscent of like the Gilded Age, and they talk about money and people as if they're not actually living or on this earth. Like, I have a very strange feeling. I don't even think there's going to be like an actual vetting process for who gets on this show. I think they already know or have an idea of who they're going to have on this panel. And it's going to be 4 people. One of them is going to be, I'm going to say someone between the ages of 55 and 60 for a certain demographic. He's going to be wearing a suit to look professional, even though he's probably completely insane. One of them is going to be someone between the ages of 18 and 25 so that they can show exactly how many young people within the cryptocurrency space have made tons of money. And you can do the exact same thing if you throw your money into crappy coins as well. One of them will be a generic woman, because they always do this. She'll have no real say in things, but she'll sit there and smile. You've seen her on stage a couple of times at a couple of cryptocurrency panels, and you know that she has money, but people don't usually pay attention to how much money she has. They'll ask her what kind of shoes she's wearing as opposed to anything else, because that's the world that we live in. And the 4th one, I'm going to say someone like relatively general, like they'll look like The Rock. They'll look like they could be from multiple places around the world, but you can't really pinpoint where, just so that they can tell you, like, look, everyone's into crypto, and that'll be the panel. I'm going to say 2 of them are going to be completely cringy. I'm going with the guy wearing the suit and the 18 to 25-year-old who, has a Lambo and all this other stuff. It's going to be such a cringy show. I can feel it. I'm so sad. I just broke the code. Because I keep hearing about things like this, or things that would, remember before, for those of you who were here in 2018, 2019, somebody announced that they would be making a cryptocurrency movie. And I was like, finally, I can't wait to see what this was going to be about. And it was about a bank heist. It was about these terrible people who decided to heist the bank. They took all the money from it and were trying to, they literally said in the movie, hey guys, let's launder our money into crypto. And I was like, so it's a movie about how terrible the cryptocurrency space is and how it's only for criminals. Cool. Got it. There was another movie that ended up popping up. I think this was it from India? I don't remember where it was from. I told you guys about it before. If you can find it, I don't know what the name of it was. I was clicking around one day. Maybe it's on Amazon. Check around on Amazon and type in the word crypto. It was a movie about this guy. It's meant to be in the future. He goes into a phone store and tries to get his phone fixed. He finds someone else's phone. He swipes it. So of course he has to be a thief. and it has tons of money on it. It has tons of Bitcoin. And it's enough money for him to live his best life in the future. You know, Bitcoin's price. And this is like him running around trying not to give back the stolen phone. And I was like, so people who are into crypto, they're also just thieves and like trying not to give back the money. And then there was another movie that came out. This is like a year or two ago. And that was also just about a bunch of people who were so greedy that they were. And it's like, we can't have any like no one has thought of a movie that shows like the actual like what would or could be of crypto changing the world, like what the actual prospectus or the idea why we have Bitcoin, like it actually changing the world and people being able to have economic freedom and people in other countries being able to join an economic system that doesn't want them because they're poor. No one thinks of making that movie. It has to be like a high speed chase and something terrible and someone evil and someone mean over and over the exact same time. So, and I know the problem with this show is going to be the people who are going to be pitching ideas won't also care about anyone else either. There will be no idea of Web3 or decentralization. It's going to be, look, I made this crappy coin and you can also be a part of this crappy coin and this project. I'm telling you that it's decentralized because it's going to sound absolutely great to you. Do you want to join? How much money can we make from this? You can get a 25% stake because we assume that when we dump this crappy coin, tons of people having seen it on this TV show will jump into it, throw all their money into it, and you will be making at least a couple million per year from this. I'm in, me too. Okay, cool. We all buy it. We relatively have everything that we need right now to live in a utopian cryptocurrency world where people can get away from the other system. And that even goes as far as talking about stablecoins. We've gone over all that before. Don't have to dive back into it again. So anyway, this was quite popular news. Apparently, this will be shown on, where is it? On something called Hello One. Okay, it will be on Hello Labs' on-demand Hello TV streaming service. There's no date for this. Okay, it says filming begins in June. So we can assume by autumn or winter, we will have this show. I will be watching an episode or two just so I can, relay back to you if my assumptions were true, but it's always the same. I wish we just had good things. This is reminiscent of the guy from Tron paying $100 million for BitTorrent. It has that kind of feeling. Imagine using this money to actually build up the cryptocurrency space as opposed to being like, should we make a TV show? We don't need any more of those, but let's totally do it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being cynical, but also maybe we just don't need a show like this. We'll see if it's good. I think 1% of me believes that the show would be like spectacular. And I'd be like, wow, I want these people's dreams to come true. I want decentralization to reign supreme. But the other 99% of me is going to be like, this is just a cash grab. This is CoinMarketCap trying to make a global media empire, which is what they're also trying to do. And why you keep hearing about like a lot of rich, not celebrities, but richer people within the cryptocurrency space trying to get into it and have like fractions of it. I think we had news or allegedly before that Changpeng Zhao was also trying to get into CoinMarketCap because I think they own CoinDesk and they're trying to make a large cryptocurrency media empire, which is also a red flag because if we end up getting all of our news from very specific places, like imagine there's like 15 different websites where you get your news from, but they're all owned by CoinMarketCap and or CoinDesk. Then we're only really getting our news from one place and they can say exactly whatever they want to move the market and or have the market go back down. Decentralization is key, but it's taking us a while to actually get there. That's the Hello Labs Shark Tank whale TV show news. Please don't be cringy. And yeah, let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Jimmy Jim. American Crypto Academy, Martin Stoyer, Bodie McButtface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious, Agile, and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on. Empire Queen, Roman, Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, The Dealers in Captain Summing, the Z-Way, Lay, Mobarazi, VBNR 21, Lauren, De Silva, Quarter Bitty, Troy, all good. Space Case, Need a Miracle, Pattern, Nostar, Navarro, Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman, High X, Arpinos, Roma, John Starson, The Animal, Rita, Bibliophobia, Adam Grace, Wise Not, Owl, 242 to the World Bank, World Network, Crypto Artist, Cold DVD, Cold D3D, I say Corey Riri. Cold D3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coin, Jester Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Machonisa, and on Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who's a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a like, who left a comment, or who has subscribed, who's still listening to me rant about decentralization within the cryptocurrency space, and or is looking at exactly how long this line is for Bitcoin transactions. I guess the blockchain is still stopped up, backed up, not working up. Geez, this is a very long line. I'll go back up. This is a very long line of transactions. I don't know what the current transaction fees are for Bitcoin, but I assume they're relatively high. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do sincerely hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to... Jeez Louise, 163 transactions waiting. Jeez Louise. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, something, and or supporting. Transacting? No. Liking, commenting, whatever. And I will... Why do I forget these words that I say every single day? Isn't that a shame? And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.